It's match week 2 of MLS Next Pro. A drive up I-75 from downtown Atlanta takes you to Fifth Third Bank Stadium, where today Atlanta United 2 is set to host Carolina Core FC, a franchise in its first year in the league who has quickly established a flair for the dramatic after taking 2 points in its first ever game last week against Crown Legacy, and most recently, a victory in the U.S. Open Cup. Good afternoon from Kennesaw, Georgia. AJ Ricketts with you for this MLS Next Pro matchup between two Eastern Conference clubs who have high hopes and star power to their names. The Core may not have the busloads of 500 fans making this road trip as they did last week in Charlotte. However, the talent on the pitch travels, and Atlanta United, who were unlucky last week, taking a loss despite having 4 times as many shots as their opponents, will have to be sharp today against the Foxes, who play their first 8 matches on the road. A look at the starting 11s. First, for Atlanta United, who come out in a 4-2-3-1 today under second-year manager Steve Cook. What stands out today is the youth up front, academy players all throughout this lineup, and as potential substitutes off the bench as well. We've become used to seeing Nick Firmino up front for Atlanta. He played in the first team match last night against Toronto, so this afternoon, 17-year-old Matthew DeJaney will get his first MLS Next Pro start. DeJaney has impressed with his goal scoring in the academy, an opportunity to announce himself at this level here today. Carolina Core, under the direction of former MLS star and U.S. international Roy Lassiter. Lassiter felt making the move to High Point from Houston, where he was with Dynamo Dos, was the right fit, right time. Core FC come out in a 3-5-2 with attacking wingbacks. Striker Papa Ndoye, he made a name for himself last year with 14 goals for Dynamo Dos. However, in the Core's first match, it was Pachito Polanco, who was a Division II Conference Player of the Year at Barry University in Miami last year. Now, last week, he headed in the game-tying goal in the 91st minutes. After those dramatics, Polanco earns a start today alongside Ndoye, who will look to hand Atlanta its second loss in the first 2 matches of the season. Our officials today, our head referee is Elvis Osmanovic. Tom Felice and Sarah Gads, the assistant referees. Jonathan Smith, the 4th official today. I'll tell you what, Carolina Core had no fear going into what was one of the toughest places to play in the league last season. Crown Legacy did not lose a match at home at the Sportsplex at Matthews. They certainly looked very competent and capable against Carolina Core. But Roy Lassiter's squad held their own. They developed opportunities, really had some nice chances throughout. And finally, in the 91st minute, off some terrific distribution from the near side on a great cross, Pachito Polanco headed it into the net. And a wild celebration in front of the about 600-700 fans of Carolina Core in that venue. Polanco got a yellow card for taking his jersey off in the celebration. I think that's one he'll have no problem living with moving forward. An indelible memory for Carolina Core in their first match, and then just a couple of days later, 2 days ago, against Nova FC in the U.S. Open Cup. Some more club history for Carolina Core, their first ever U.S. Open Cup win. They came back from a 2-1 deficit in that match to win 3-2. What a start for Carolina Core as member of MLS Next Pro. There is plenty of talent on this Atlanta United side. Academy products who are motivated to make the most of their opportunity today, and some experience from the MLS level as well. Atlanta United, Carolina Core on a beautiful afternoon in Kennesaw. We are underway here on MLS Season Pass. Atlanta United in the black kits, Carolina Core in the visiting whites. Second of 8 straight matches on the road to start this season for Carolina Core before they'll finally get a chance in front of the home fans at Truist Park. They are gearing up for what will be a memorable start at home. First home game in club history coming soon, but not quite yet. Looking to develop some chances here early. No problem. In front of nets on the cross by John Berner. 32-year-old outlets it to the far side. Things on here for Atlanta. Floated into a dangerous spot. Extra touch is cleared out. There was a foul in that moment and an early yellow card. will be given. Second look, and you see the studs going into the shin area.
Yellow card penalty assessed to number 86 for Atlanta.
It's Javier Armas. Quick yellow for the 24-year-old who led Atlanta in shots taken against Orlando City last week. 19th pick of the second round.
Yellow card assessed in the first minute of play.
Ndoye was trying to make a run central. Had it knocked away. Papa Ndoye, 14 goals last season with Dynamos. Jesus Orihuela on the throw-in. Foul coming. Trying to box out. On the way there. Alan Carlton, talented young striker from Powder Springs, Georgia. Sutton in net for Carolina Core for the second straight match. Throw in here for Carolina. Sutton had a pair of huge saves in that shootout against Crown Legacy, including the game-winning save against Joao Pedro, an MLS Next 11 member last year. Pedro was staring him down, taking a lot of time, building up the drama and tension in that moment, and Carlton sent it away. Here's a cross into the box, easily headed away as Jacob Evans, team captain, tries to chase it down. Carlton. Play to Atlanta. Steve Cook handed it off to his players. Talking about the Orlando City game, he said when I took a deep dive into the stats, we dominated the game in almost every aspect. The only aspect I felt we didn't dominate was that Orlando scored more goals than us. He said Orlando scored goals that probably won't be repeated all season. We're honestly pretty pleased in terms of how we played. I thought the subs made a big difference for us. We just want to go out and play how we did again, maybe execute in the final third a little bit better, but really pleased with the performance. He was talking about a goal that went through a pair of his players' legs and then into the upper 90s. He said probably won't see it, a goal of that kind of nature again this season, or maybe ever. Some real high-class goals in that game for Orlando, including one off a free kick as well. But Atlanta outshots Orlando in that game 20-5. Dominated possession as well. There were a lot of good things coming out of that season opener. Just no points to take from it. We'll look to reverse that storyline here today against Carolina Core. Very competent. It was not a lucky goal. It was not an undeserved scoreline, and 2 points taken for Roy Lassiter's club last week. Mario Diaz triggering it in, the 19-year-olds. Spent the previous season with the Dynamo U20s. Ndoye looking to earn possession back. And there is a giveaway. Here's Jacob Evans. Heavy touch. Trickling towards the end line. Evans and Ndoye were off to the races there. Too ambitious on the touch there from Evans. Got away from him as he was accelerating forward. Eric Centeno will throw in here for Atlanta. Here's Ndoye. Pucks it right back. Jacob Evans will launch from outside and didn't miss by much. Just wide of that left post is Jacob Evans. Much better sequence there on the ball outside the 18. Yeah, that was a threatening action here early in this match. Really the first real chance for either side. Evans had all sorts of space. Burner had to dive to be sure. Carolina will play an aggressive attacking style. You hear the wind whipping here in Kennesaw, northwest Atlanta. Steve Cook was talking about the style he expects Carolina Core to play. Said, look, they have their own unique way. They a couple holding midfielders, 2 forwards. The width is provided by those wing backs. Said, I think they're a great test because they play a style that's meant to win games. They're not having this debate about necessarily developing players. They're the first team in their club. They're the A team. Their players are the ones they're worried about, not the first teamers coming down. These players are trying to perform to boost their careers, win championships. Said, I think they're incredibly competitive. It'll be a real nice test for us. And we have to try to win the physical battle as well. Talked about how the physicality of Carolina stood out on tape from their first 2 matches. Atlanta in the attacking third here, sending it central. Oh, it's parried away. Carlton was central and nearly put in the opening goal for Atlanta. Guided it directly to Sutton, who was able to get a hand on it. That was a real opportunity in the front of goal, and Atlanta not able to take advantage of it. Alex Sutton coming up strong here in the early moments. To the middle of your screen, Carlton did well to get a flick on, but just hit it right at Sutton. Carlton may love another opportunity of that one. The core right back on the other end. That's blocked. Carlos Mario Diaz. Inverted winger, can play both sides of the pitch. Which Lassiter was talking about. His profile loves to take players one-on-one. Box-to-box kind of player, high energy. Seen him on the ball quite often here in the first 8+ minutes. And Evans earns a throw. Nothing of this chance in the end. Trying to threaten once more. Teams with a solid opportunity in the first 10 minutes. The best from Carolina Core coming from Jacob Evans. Alan Carlton nearly had his first goal of the season for Atlanta. Shardo over to Brennan. To Matt Edwards, this year's captain for Atlanta. Spent the past 3 years at UNC. Here from the Atlanta bench, patience. Good spell of possession right now for Steve Cook's club. Janey, good touch to play it back. Luke Brennan takes contact. That goes out of play. And this looks to be a corner kick for Atlanta, their first of the afternoon. Hadn't said DeJanie's name too often here in the first 10-plus minutes. Found Luke Brennan. Corner kick upcoming. Javier Armas will guide it in. 48th pick out of Oregon State in this past year's MLS Super Draft. 77 appearances, 6 goals, 10 assists in his time in Corvallis. 13 All-American. Between Armas, Carlton, Gallardo, DeJanie, Morales, Edwards, a lot of young players. Plenty of potential here in this Atlanta lineup. Taking a moment here to get the actual kick away. I don't know if there's some shoving or things the lead officials taking some exception with. Sends it away, header to it, and Sutton there once again. That one with a little less pace on it, but it was directed well towards goal. Sutton didn't have to be as quick as he was a few minutes ago off the Carlton flick. Sutton keeps finding himself in the right spot, whether it's the penalty kicks last week or the first 2 shots delivered his way here today. Luke Brennan advancing. 19-year-old from the academy. Steve Cook said Brennan's really stepping forward in his development as of late. Sent in again. Necessary intervention late. That was Wampy who got a foot to it. If that got by Wampy, who is the center back, may have been an easy tap-in. Atlanta looking more formidable here the last few minutes. There's open space on the near side. Carlton will direct it there. Centeno being challenged. Mario Diaz marked him for a moment there. Oh, this is given away though. Ndoye advancing. Trying to use his speed here. Good recovery. Stifle that challenge there from Ndoye. Those are the moments that Coach Roy Laster loves to see, though. He wants his players to go one-on-one and not worry about if they lose possession. If the challenge takes the ball out of play, if it ruins a sequence early. He wants his players to be ambitious in those moments, and you saw that there from Ndoye. It didn't quite work out. Those are the moments of development that Roy Lassiter wants to see. So 15 minutes into this match. This broadcast presented by Piedmont. No score. Carolina Core and Atlanta United. 3 combined shots between the two clubs. 2 decent ones for Atlanta in the early going. Alan Carlton had a real chance to put Atlanta United up 1-0 early in this match, but guided it right at Alex Sutton, Carolina's keeper. We're seeing good development out of the midfield from Atlanta United in the past 8 to 10 minutes. After some shaky moments early, conceding possession in their back half. We often see Kareem Tamimi or Nick Firmino up forward for Atlanta United too. I'm used to seeing an average starting position from Steve Cook's club in the last year or so. Today feels a real chance for Academy products to make a name for themselves. Polanco trying to make things difficult for Morales. Burner had to send it off. Orihuela was fouled. Carolina core, though they didn't have their lone goal until the 91st minute last week, did a really nice job of finding opportunities for both Papa Ndoye and Yekasin Suba in space, trying to get them on the near or far side. 1v1 opportunities. Really felt like they were one crisp pass or motion away from finding that perfect sequence. This is played back. Diaz goes near side, cross sent in, dangerous. It's punched away by Burner. Like for a moment, I think Ndoye had a chance to get a header on it. Burner was sharp. Christian Diaz trying to fight for it. There's a whistle. Spot kick for Carolina core. Shardo committing the infraction there. Matias Shardo came in the second half last week. Steve Cook thought he did very well when he came on, said he was a real ignition to what we did in the second half. Argentinian midfielder was signed last July. Remember, Atlanta went down 3-1 in that game, pulled one back late, but were unable to force the shootouts in that 3-2 loss to Orlando City B. Covey. Headed down to Polanco. A conference player at Barry University last season. This is Sinton. Polanco's header didn't quite do what he wanted to there. Skied it high, no problems for Burner. Armas. Flips along the far side, and Noble Okello. Kobe looking to guide it out of his back third. Given away. Okello dispossessed. The tap. Carolina core can advance here. Diaz to Ndoye. Polanco. Carlos Mario Diaz. Polanco sends it to Evans. Nice one-touch pass. Things are on here for the core towards the end line. And crashing out of play is Facundo Canetti. Was unable to cross it in before his momentum took him over the touchline. It will be a corner kick. Watch this nice pass from Jacob Evans to Canetti. His touch is a bit heavy and defense recovers, but he is able to guide it off an Atlanta defender as that trickles out of play. And a corner kick here for the core. First for Carolina here today. Both teams now with one corner to their name. Line drive towards the 8s, and that'll sky over the bar. Lassiter was talking about that game against Crown Legacy in our call this week. Said he felt Legacy were a little more polished than Carolina. So we're in our 7th week of existence. They've been able to build things up for a year. And reference their terrific schedule at home last year. Brennan giving chase. Covey got there first. Master said we had to work through some things. The second half, we did much better, which minimized Crown Legacy's opportunities to score. Like how we kept working, kept fighting, pushing forward, and looking for that equalizer. And obviously in the shootout, anything can happen. It was a fun match to watch. A lot of drama, emotion from the players in that shootout. You could hear the roar, the energy of the fans on both sides. It's an environment that hopefully we continue to see much more out of in MLS Next Pro moving forward. Bounced over the foot of Centeno. And remember, on Saturday, the Generation Adidas Cup kicks off. Premier Global Youth Tournament. Every MLS academy, a number of prestigious academies from around the world as well. All that's going to be on MLS Season Pass. Looking forward to that. Plenty of players on these rosters have participated in that throughout the course of their career. Burner sends this one long. Kello. Nicely guided header. This is Brennan. Centeno. Kello. Brennan across the 18, out of the far side. Daniel Russo. Here's Russo. Atlanta working it around. Okello. Armas guided in, and that gets through. The deflection puts it into the net, and Atlanta United takes a 1-0 lead at home. Luke Brennan with the goal.
Atlanta United goal scored by number 25, Luke Brennan.
The academy product, who Steve Cook has been very complimentary of late, finds himself in the right spot. Armas delivers it in, and Brennan got a touch to it. Crowded area in front of the box. That time, Alex Sutton, there's nothing he could do about that one. Well guided by Luke Brennan, Atlanta United, a 1-0 lead here at home. Second straight week Steve Cook's club has taken their first goal of the match. Atlanta United has certainly been threatening over the course of these first 20-plus minutes. To an overwhelming degree, Carlton had the best chance. That one is guided in a nice area. Armas with the assist. 7 combined shots here in this first half. Atlanta in the area again here. Brennan has another! It's a brace for Brennan, and it's 2-0 in the blink of an eye.
Atlanta United 2 goal, number 25.
Oh, how quickly has the tenor of this match changed. Luke Brennan has a pair, and Atlanta feeling good about themselves here in the first half. Luke Brennan does a terrific job here to settle. Watch the delivery from the far side. Takes the deflection, and on the bounce, Luke Brennan doesn't have to do too much to punch that one home. Puts it in the corner. How about this from Atlanta United? The style of soccer, the brand of football they played last week when they outshot Orlando City 20-5. Now rewarded with a pair of goals in quick succession. No intentions to give up 3 unanswered before getting their next one like they did last week. Now Okello takes it away. Atlanta surging at the moment. Brennan will guide one in. Off the volley, and Sutton has to tap it away. It was nearly 3 consecutive goals in a matter of minutes. My goodness, Carolina Core is treading water right now. Gallardo nearly had his first goal. It was Brennan delivering it in this time. Got over the defense. And that nearly, even though it wasn't struck perfectly, nearly found its way over Sutton. It's dangerous moments right now for Carolina Core. Sent in. Flicked away. This broadcast presented by Gallagher. 2-0 here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw. Pair of goals in under a 3-minute span for Atlanta United, both from Luke Brennan. And the Core, some real adversity that they need to fight through at this moment. They found themselves down a goal on the road in Charlotte last week, and it always felt like they were in the game. They did not have any 5 or 10-minute sequences of this nature. 2 straight punches to the gut. Sprayed wide. Ross blocks. Polanco settles. Polanco able to send this in. Burner is there. Not a bad effort from Polanco on the near side. Play either wing. There's nobody on the receiving end of it there. Burner catching practice. That is a nice sequence though for Pachito Polanco. A pair of defenders on him. Still like the pace he was able to get behind it. See the body language on Polanco. He's frustrated. Think about the positioning of his teammates there, but certainly the scoreline contributing to those emotions as well. Covey able to flick it to himself. Evans dispossessed. Brennan. Atlanta once more, overlapping runs near side. Brennan didn't recognize it immediately, but he was fouled right outside the box. It's going to be a free kick in a dangerous area for Atlanta. Wampy is going to need a moment. He might need some assistance from the bench. Juan Pablo Rodriguez. Another look right in the center of your screen at a pair of teammates making a run on that near side. I think he was trying to find them at that last moment when he was taken to the ground. Armas was on that run, as well as Centeno. Immediate concern, aside from the scoreline right now, is the status of Wampy. At least at the moment, just certainly doesn't look like he'll be able to proceed. Argentina native. He's represented Argentina on their U16 squad. And just having a tough time of it right now. Visible frustration. hope this is nothing too serious. A player that has been certainly been a part of the plans of Carolina Core here early in this season. Athletic training staffs all around him, as well as half of his teammates on the pitch. Trying to just walk this off here. We'll say he was able to put a little bit more pressure here in these moments than he was initially when he got up before he had to take another seat. And that is encouraging. Supportive applause from the folks here in Atlanta. Very ginger walk to the sideline. Cause for concern extends to the current situation on the pitch as well. Just outside the 18. Charlo standing around it. Atlanta would love to make it 3-0 here. Wow, perfectly placed. 3-0 Atlanta. It's Javier Armas with the goal.
Number 86, Javier Armas.
And Armas made that look very, very simple. It never really is. But from a spot just outside the 18, stepped up and put it through. Atlanta United playing with a verve right now at home. A five-man wall, a sixth to the right of it. Armas, nothing Alex Sutton could do. This is as fun as it gets right now if you're an Atlanta United supporter. 3 goals in the span of 10 minutes. Core will go to their bench to replace Wampy. It'll be Kai Thomas coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for the Carolina Core in the 34th minute. Entering the match is
Kai Thomas coming in from FC Cincinnati.
Leading the match is number 6, Juan Pablo Rodriguez.
Spent time in a number of different academies. Team captain of FC Cincinnati last year. So what do you do now if you're Carolina Core? Well, nothing else to do but keep fighting. They look much more vulnerable here today in their second match of MLS Next Pro action. Again, this is the second match in just a couple of days for Carolina Core, played in the U.S. Open Cup since 72 hours ago. Would like to at least get one back here. They go down in the box. No whistle. Carlos Mario Diaz was trying to draw a penalty. Evans to the far side. From the right side. This is wide right, but this is still better from the Core. More determined offensively. Actually off of an Atlanta defender for a corner kick. And he will take it here. Canetti. Head to it. That was Christian Diaz. Another deflection, another corner. Driven ball harmlessly into the net. Burner just sending his teammates deep after a couple moments of confusion there. If you looked at shots taken and just that stat, you might think it's a fairly even game. It's a 6-4 advantage for Atlanta United, but it's a 6-0 advantage in shots on target for Atlanta United. 23-11 advantage in terms of final third entries. Expected goals, 0.83 for Atlanta, 0.16 for Carolina Core. The span of 10 minutes has completely changed the tune of the proceedings here in Kennesaw. Ball feathered in initially. Done to track it down. That was Morales. The wind continues to whip here. Evans earns possession back, plays it central, shot taken. Burner, no problem. Chesting it to Canetti. Kai Thomas to Covey. Sutton coming out of his box. And slowly just applying a bit more pressure in that back half. And the whistle going against Okello. The yellow card will be distributed as well. Okello, the 23-year-old, came in from New England Revolution to spent last year's MLS Next Pro campaign with Revs 2, 12 appearances, 1 goal. And a yellow card right there. 40th minute. Carolina simply need to get to the locker room and regroup for a bit here. Felt for a moment they may have a lifeline. Went down to the box just a few minutes ago. No penalty was given. This is Polanco. Some space to operate with. Over past Evans. The Core will keep it. Mares, Evans, crossing it in. Burner off his line, trickled out of his hands. There was no whistle on the sequence, and Doy couldn't get his head to it. Again, still better here from the Core. Really committing numbers forward now. Juarez, cross blocked. It's not what our manager Roy Lassiter wants to see. He says, I may have scored the goal-scoring guy in MLS. When I coach out of the back, I'd much rather take a 1-0 loss than a 1-0 win, I should say, than a 2-1 victory if I had the chance. Evans to Juarez once again. Canetti has some space. Canetti whips it in. Taken out. Thomas surveying. Back to Sutton. Hear the urgency, the intensity of that second ball. A chance for Brennan to keep that in with the bounce. On the near side, Centeno. 44th minute, Centeno guides one in. It was with his momentum taking him away from goal. Wasn't able to get a lot on that cross. Blanco back to Evans. Carolina trying to develop something here. This is good. And Doy shifting left. Evans right by him. And Carolina need one in the worst way. Fortunate sequence of 10 minutes has found them down 3 goals. Good defensive slide. 45th minute here. Will not be a corner there. Goal kick, I should say. Carolina will have 5 minutes of stoppage time to work with. It's a significant injury timeout for Wampy earlier in the half. Earlier in the half, United manager Steve Cook talked about winning the battle of physicality. Matching that from the core. Certainly have here. Luke Brennan already has a brace. A chance for a third. No. Blocked away. Okello's follow is just high. Nevertheless, this is a brand of soccer that Atlanta United supporters simply love to see. How about Carlton finding Luke Brennan there? And a good angle initially, still got the shot off. Sutton was there. Okello tried to be precise with it. Still encouraging. Still a 3-0 lead here for Atlanta. Tell you what, Alan Carlton is awfully close to having a goal and an assist here in this first half. Winds up with neither, but he's done well. This is chipped in, but Polanco won't get a chance to get a touch. Burner easily reads that. Four have time here before this halftime break. Diaz. Kennedy walking over to take the corner kick. High arching kick to the other side. And Doy settling. Evans trying to keep possession here. Nice extra touch. Evans. Good ideas. And another corner for Carolina. Jacob Evans has had some nice moments here in distribution for Carolina. Captain has been a good presence on the ball, but just nothing to show offensively for Carolina's efforts in the first 45+ minutes. Kennedy, again, on a windy afternoon. Polanco, black jerseys all around him. Still trickling around and sent away. Sutton, in midfield. More minutes here in the first half, stoppage time. Evans, left-footed cross. Can't reach Ndoye initially. Second ball, settled down. It goes off of Ndoye. Third chance, into the stands. Chaotic sequence here. Ndoye off the first header. Couldn't get to it. Went down to the foot of Diaz, who ricocheted off his teammate and then blasted it into the stands. Carlton slipped. Diaz again. Lays it off. Play as Kennedy was trying to threaten. Do admire the numbers and the pace Carolina is playing with, despite going down 3-0 here. Not laying down. Delivered in, back post. Nothing to do with it. Out of play. Burner in no hurry to send this off. Polanco trying to earn one more chance. He'll fire as time expires. Good idea with Burner out of goal, but not able to execute there. A first-class first half for Atlanta United. We said this may be a day for these academy products to show the stuff they're made out of. You get an idea of it here. 3 goals in the first 45 minutes at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, and Atlanta United having a day right now. No problems in the first 45 against Carolina Core. Well, coming up here at halftime, we will have the upcoming schedule and first half highlights. But first, next Saturday, the Generation Adidas Cup kicks off. Generation Adidas Cup, the premier global youth tournament featuring every MLS academy along with renowned clubs from around the world, including Manchester United, Flamengo, River Plate, and many more. Catch the future stars of MLS and global soccer as matches stream live on MLS Season Pass. Well, MLS Next Pro expanded by 2 clubs in this 2024 season. Let's get to know one of them by meeting Chattanooga FC. So some information here about the Generation Adidas Cup. We mentioned featuring every MLS Academy, the premier global youth tournament. Always a lot of fun. So many players here in today's match and all across MLS Next Pro have experience in this tournament, which always elicits great drama. Last year, MLS teams winning the U17 and U15 age groups, the second consecutive seasons. Remember, international programs and clubs are part of this as well. The future stars of MLS and global soccer on MLS Season Pass, Generation Adidas Cup. So as referenced, MLS Next Pro expansion this year, 2024. One of those clubs, Chattanooga FC. Let's get to know them.
One thing I know about our group, certainly as a club, is they're inspired. They're inspired by this club. They're inspired by the city. They're inspired by the fans, our academy. So there's a lot of inspiration around how great this club has been and how great it could become.
Established in 2009, Chattanooga FC is making history as it enters MLS Next Pro. Fueled by the passion of their dedicated fans, the Chattahooligans, they embark on a journey to compete at the highest level, driven by a shared love for the beautiful game. Together, they aim to create unforgettable moments and leave an indelible mark on soccer history. Get ready to witness the spirit of Chattanooga FC in MLS Next Pro.
I moved to Chattanooga in 2012, so in 2013 is when I went to my first game. The founders did an amazing job of establishing the culture and the atmosphere, and honestly, I can't tell you how they did it. I wish there was a secret sauce I could tell every team of what to do, but it was awesome to see that fan support already here. But at the time, we were an amateur club. We had some growing pains. We knew the aspirations of the club was more than just being an amateur side, and so, the move from amateur to NISA was probably the best one for us at the time. We weren't fully ready to make the step all the way to MLS Next Pro as we are now, and it gave us a sense of professionalism, and now we're taking that next step to Next Pro is where I first feel that this club has found its home and found its identity, and we're really looking forward to a long-term future here.
The legacy started 15 years ago when a group of guys got together and said, let's start a football club. And to the great benefit of this club and this city, almost all of them are still involved in one way, shape, or form. The founders, the owners, and then the 3,200 folks that said, I want to be an owner of Chattanooga Football Club. And they come from all over the world. They're still involved.
There's been a buzz since I've been here, and there was a buzz before I got here, and there'll be a buzz after I leave. That's just really nice. And that is so special to be in a city that they love football. They love it, they cherish it, it's important to them, and we feel it. We feel the city, we feel the fans, the players feel it, it helps our performances. It's top notch.
The club is a community club, and that's where it's come from, people, and it was guys that lived here that started a team back 15, 16 years ago, and then now that team has grown and involved with the city more, with the stadium, with the community. There's a lot of programs. Guys are 2 or 3 times a week. Either they're in schools reading, they might be packing for the troops, they could be at local supermarkets bagging groceries. There's a big identity within the community from us to go out to it, but also you see that coming back. You see people in jerseys, you see coffee mugs, you see posters in places. So it's like that cycle of the community isn't just us trying to force it on them, it's them bringing us into the community as well. So it's very special to be like that at a club like this, where it's more than just a stadium. You can be anywhere in the city and around the city, and people know who we are and what we're trying to do. So that's huge. And I think that translates to the guys as well.
That's what did it for me. It's people that they don't just care about football, they care about how football impacts the community. And that's huge for me because, you know, I came from a community growing up where football is all we had. And it was kind of our way out. And so for a community and a group of people to value it that much and to really want to use it as a tool to unite people, that was a big part of my decision coming here. And obviously the people are great, the fans are amazing, we all know that. And we just really, really love Chattanooga.
This community is everything. You know, you walk around downtown, like a lot of the restaurants and everything is based from the community. So it's really important that we, you know, are with the community and we can inspire people.
Just by being here in Chattanooga, seeing the fans, the city, the people, being a part of that, being a part of champions because they are champions, you know, I'm just really honored, grateful, and proud to call myself a Chattanooga player or, you know, be a part of this amazing community.
I'm super proud to be here. Growing up, you know, I've actually went to CFC games when I was a kid, so seeing just how the whole community in the town comes around, especially, you know, they pack the stands. So
Chattanooga Football Club is a special club and a special community that already is different than anywhere else. And I'll tell you from my perspective, this is my church.
I guess there is a slight pressure there, but you know, I know my abilities and I know the fan base is going to take care of me and my teams.
We want them to feel the wind at their backs through us. We want to have an effect on the field, and we want our opponents to feel our presence and hopefully feel that pressure.
We realize it's going to be a very different opportunity for us to grow.
We're now aligned with a strong nationwide league. It's exciting to be involved in it. The organisation of the league, the clubs, the players, the coaches, the scouting, the organisation, all of that has taken a step up.
We're excited for new opponents, new competition, and we take it a day at a time. We know what we're capable of individually and collectively as a team.
The club has really cool sustainability. It has certainly presented itself as willing and ready for MLS Next Pro.
Now that you attach, you know, MLS to it, clearly people know that's a professional league. It's, you know, the standard in the U.S., and so it's exciting to see, and people are talking about it.
MLS is the top league in the country, right? And they want this league to be the next best. So they're investing in players and resources, and that's what we expect, right? We expect that kind of level and that kind of commitment, and so we expect it to be difficult every day.
Any final message you have for the fans ahead of this coming season?
We thank y'all, and we're super excited to get started and super excited to see you guys packing the stands, and we're ready to play for the badge and we're ready to play for the city.
The message to our fans is thank you, and thank you for your support day in, day out. We love you guys. We're excited to give back, and the best way to do that is with our performance and, of course, winning.
We're going to entertain you. We're going to come out, we're going to play football, we're going to enjoy it, we're going to enjoy the ball, we're going to be exciting. You know, those are things, I know you hear that every day, but our record speaks for itself in the last couple of years. We want to play exciting, attractive, high-level football and we won't deviate from. Win, lose, draw, we don't deviate.
We're hoping to continue to entertain them and keep pushing to that next level that we've been trying to do over the last couple of years. So since the club started, the fan base has grown, the quality of soccer has grown, and we're now planning to continue to do that at this next stage.
We need all the help we can get, you know, and the players really thrive on that, and hearing the fans and hearing the chants.
You're always welcome, and we actually feel really honored to represent you guys.
Good stuff there, chronicling the rise of Chattanooga FC, just one of a number expansion sides here in MLS Next Pro as the league continues to grow. Carolina Core, one of those clubs, and got off to an absolutely delightful start in match week 1 and the U.S. Open Cup, but being humbled thus far through 45 minutes, trailing 3-0 at the half. Take a look at the upcoming match week schedule. Full slate of games starting on Wednesday. Got a doubleheader with New York and Chattanooga. Just reference Real Monarchs and Minnesota United as well. The nightcap, 4 games on Thursday, 2 on Saturday, and 4 on Sunday to round out the week. Defending champions Austin FC at the nightcap on Thursday, and the Texas Derby there. That will be fun at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. So full slate of action coming up on match week 3, which gets us going on Wednesday with New York and Chattanooga. All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights here from Kennesaw, Northwest Atlanta. Fairly even throughout the first 10-plus minutes or so. Here's Pampa Ndoye, went out to Jacob Evans. He had the first real chance. That wasn't all that off the post from well outside the box. And it looks like Carolina Core be doing the same thing they did last week. Back and forth with their opponents on the road. But then Atlanta quickly had other ideas. Service from Armas. Watch Brennan in the middle of your screen. Gets a leg to it. And trickled in the net for the first goal. Armas the assist, Luke Brennan the goal, and that was just the start of Atlanta's fun here in the first half, especially for Luke Brennan. A couple minutes later, Brennan found himself in the box, took a deflection off the defender, and set himself up perfectly to send that one in. And in less than 3 minutes, Luke Brennan had a pair of goals. Taking a 2-0 lead, and then after a hard foul, a perfectly placed free kick. How good is that? Armas that time, the goal, so an assist and a goal for Armas in the first half. 2 goals for Brennan. Atlanta United cruising right now. As we get set to start the second half, a couple more numbers from the first half here. 16 combined shots between the two teams. But getting shots on target, a huge advantage to Atlanta there in the first half. Plenty of corner kicks for Carolina Core. I know it says 0 there, but they had about 7 or 8 by the time the first half was done. Just unable to take advantage of any of those particular set pieces. 3-0 Atlanta. Glad to have you with us on MLS Season Pass. Jay Ricketts here on the call with you from Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Atlanta United certainly at the moment look well on their way to 3 points. Let's see what Carolina Core can do here in the second half. Any halftime adjustments possibly made. Not a chance here or there. Some good developing sequences, but ultimately not the quality of chances that Atlanta United saw in the first half. Atlanta United with a 1.12 expected goal total, just 0.32 for Carolina Core. Ndoye and Polanco remain up front for Carolina here out of the locker room. Underway here in the second half. Atlanta United, Carolina Core. Luke Brennan, the 19-year-old who signed a homegrown contract last year. 2 of the 3 goals for Atlanta. Javier Armas, the other. Luke Brennan would love to follow the kind of season, kind of year that Firmino had last year. Firmino's now earned a first-team contract and certainly looks like he'll have his chances at the MLS level to show what he can do. Carolina, right off the bat, looking for something positive. Polanco can get to it there. I was talking with Steve Cook about Firmino's development. He said, you know, at the beginning of the season last year, no one would have said he looked ready for this level. Nobody would have predicted what was coming. I mean, he spent time in New England, got released. They didn't rate him. He went to Union Omaha. They didn't rate him. He said last year, that was his breakout season. Is the core looking for something here? That takes a deflection. No problem for Burner. And Cook continued, said it was his breakout season. I think you'll see him make an impact with the first team as he continues to develop as the year goes on. What makes Nick Firmino great is his everyday training, his everyday work ethic, his demeanor, his positive attitude. He's a leader, and that might not mean he's wearing the captain's armband. He's led. He's a great person to be around. What the other folks can learn, whether that's Brennan or anybody else, go be yourself. As Nicky was last year, don't take someone's opinion as your life pathway. Evans gets a foot to it, pushes it near side. Again, Carolina, and the attacking third will earn a corner kick. Said Firmino may not have been on his last chance at this level, but he was starting to creep close to it with Atlanta, and then has the incredible year like he had last year. So, like, that's just one of the biggest problems in our profession, Cook said. He said, I'm trying not to be this way. It can be easy to become judgmental of a player and brand them as they have it or they don't, and judge them at age 17 or 18 is what you may have when you saw him the first time at 14. That confirmation bias comes in. Nick Firmino didn't let what defined him at New England or Union Omaha define him here in Atlanta. He will certainly appears like he may be a part of Atlanta's future plans moving forward. Maybe Luke Brennan will be that big goal scorer for Atlanta United this year. Firmino came close to the Golden Boot last year at the MLS Next Pro level. Brennan's looked strong. He might be an unexpected star for this MLS Next Pro side this season as the foul committed at midfield there. 3-0 lead here for Atlanta. This broadcast presented by Adidas. Tried to find O'Kella there, and Doy stepped in the passing lane. Evans rips one. Oh, took a touch off of Edwards, but trickled wide of the goal. I couldn't tell from that angle for a moment. Was that just going to slowly make its way to the net? I will say it does not feel as if Carolina have simply called it a day. Continuing to attack, put it in good areas. Just as they did in Charlotte last week. Only had one goal to speak of. It did have 3 in the U.S. Open Cup on Thursday. Need a similar offensive performance moving forward. Get back into this one. Foul committed on the far side. Quickly triggered back in. Evans. Diaz. A little tight on that far sideline. Nifty footwork. Evans in defense. There's Gachardo. A moment ago. Carlton making a run. Good turn. Carlton is tripped up. This will be a yellow. No doubt about that one. Christian Diaz, the recipient of the card. California native who joined this year from LAFC 2. Diaz has some U.S. Youth Men's National Team experience with the U17s.
To number 44, Christian Alejandro Diaz. In the 51st minute.
Sharda to take the free kick, who joined on a free transfer from River Plate. Sutton came out to take it. Giveaway there in the back. Polanco. Here's a shot right at Burner. This is Jathan Juarez. Polanco playing it back. Decent opportunity around the 18. Right at the 32-year-old keeper. Atlanta United did not have a save in the opening game. It's not a I mean, there were only 3 shots delivered by Orlando on goal. Burner was the 35th pick back in 2014 out of Southern Illinois, Edwardsville. Sent deep by Armas. Torres headed it to Diaz. Got whistles behind the play. And down for Atlanta. That was Brennan. Saying got hit in the face, but since he went down and there had to be a stoppage of play, he has to wait for a bit on the sideline to re-enter. You hear Elvis Osmanovic saying, "You can't come on. He needs to be cleared." So the athletic trainer has to go around. He wanted to get the game restarted. So I think Brennan's just fine, but he's got to wait for the trainer to give the thumbs up. That's unfortunate. Be a bit of an advantage here, at least for a brief few moments for Carolina Core. Evans, back central. Thomas looking to provide pressure. Centeno playing in that right back spot. Evans. Now Brennan is back in the picture here. It was an interesting sequence. I don't know if Brennan necessarily wanted a stoppage in play there. He's trying to recover from getting hit in the face. Obviously an unpleasant feeling, and the official held up play. Don't always err on the side of safety, though, with anything around the head. Whistle here. Diaz went down. Cut across. Sideswiped, I should say. Janey, who started at the striker spot today for Atlanta. Russo switches sides. Brennan. Brennan had 4 goals and 6 assists in 25 appearances last year. MLS Next Pro. It's trickling towards the net. The whistle as Sutton went to the ground. Too much contacts. Carolina keeper. Brennan's last goal had been last August, on the 21st against New York Red Bull.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for the Carolina Corps.
Carolina will go to the bench.
Here in the 57th minute. Entering the match is number 7, Yukesin Suba.
Yukesin Suba's going to come in, as well as Joshua Rodriguez.
David Polanco. Also entering the match for the Carolina Corps in the 57th minute, number 13, Joshua Rodriguez. Leading the match, number 9, Papa Ndoye.
So Rodriguez will come in for Ndoye. Yukesin Suba in as well. Suba and Ndoye were the 2 strikers to start in the first match. Roy Lassiter looking for some fresh legs up front. Evans. Good distribution here. Suba sidesteps, shoots, it's blocked. It's a nice run though, fresh into the match. Atlanta looking to counter. And a foul, that'll be a yellow. Midfield, Canetti slowing down the developments there around the center circle.
Please, your attention, please. The caution has been issued by the referee to number 24, Fernando Canetti, here in the 59th minute.
Kobe may have been in the right spot anyway, but Canetti making sure. The 3 subs have been used now for Carolina Corps. Atlanta has not gone to the bench as of yet. Thomas, Suba, and Rodriguez, the 3 subs. A good movement quickly there. Russo got it central. Carlton denied. And Carlton has had a pair of chances repelled today. Watch centrally. Good job. DeJaney is getting himself a bit more involved in the second half to find Carlton. Not as point blank there as Carlton's look in the first half. It's still an excellent chance. Nearly 4-0. This broadcast presented by Piedmont. An hour in, Northwest Atlanta. Carolina Corps fighting. Again, brought down in the box. I'll tell you what, nobody was around Juarez centrally. Now, Diaz was absolutely draped, though. It would have been hard in his peripherals to see Juarez and distribute to him quickly. If he had, it would have been an easy chance to finish. Oh, that's a bad pass. Here's Yukesin Suba trying to take advantage here. Oh, what a save! And that's the kind of day it's been for Carolina Corps. Burner spurns him. Wow. That was as point blank as it gets for Suba. And now on the counter here, Atlanta looking for a 4th. No, sir. DeJaney was in transition. Not an easy angle or finish. Chance for both sides to catch their breath for a moment. That was a fun run of play. Not the best pass there from Gallardo. Yekison Suba had all sorts of time to line it up. The whole right side of the net was open for him. Could not finish. DeJaney here. Difficult situation. The one he may like back as well. But for Sua, well, that's a chance he'll rarely find himself committing a miscue on. Atlanta pushing forward again. They'll switch sides. Settled. Gallardo. On the follow, Carlton whips one past the net. Starting to feel like Carlton might be due for one here soon. Foul on Atlanta. Might have been offside for a moment, but saw the consternation from Steve Cook on that near sideline. Juarez. This will be a throw-in. Juarez towards the end line. Staying in. Suba can't get to it before Burner did. We're actually with more shots here in the second half. 5-3 advantage in shots taken. Foul on Carolina here. This is a sport, though, that does not reward buildups. It rewards the finish after. And Atlanta United has been clinical in so many moments today. Carolina Core cannot say quite the same. Definitely some defensive lapses over the course of the first 45 minutes, but I'll tell you what, really other than that 10 to 15 minute stretch, it hasn't been a particularly disconcerting. Carolina have looked formidable. 10 minutes was all it took.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for your Atlanta United team.
Atlanta United's going to go to the bench for the first time.
The 65th minute. Entering the match is number 99, Kareem Tamimi. Out, number 49, Matthew Dejani. Also in the match for Atlanta United, number 75, Jacob Williams. Out of the match is number 41, Carlton.
So this first pair of subs, Carlton and DeJaney will come to the bench. Jacob Williams and Kareem Tamimi, first two substitutions here today for Steve Cook. Tamimi, a 27-year-old from France, signed last January after a prolific career at Georgia Gwinnett College. Jacob Williams out of North Carolina. He signed in December. The Maryland native. It's been a year at Crown Legacy. Here's Evans. Pushes it to Suba. Wanting to make up, get a little redemption for that last point-blank miss. Evans. His shot is blocked. Carlton will exit perhaps with a little bit of frustration that he did not want to get to one in the back of the net, but still think a day of plenty of good things for Alan Carlton. very fair to say, could have an assist and 2 goals to his name. And you keep putting yourself in those positions. The stats will reward you with time. More substitutions here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution
for Carolina Core.
Here in the 67th minute. Entering the match is number 22, Christian Gregory. Out of the match is number 17, Carlos Mario Diaz. Also into the match for Carolina Core, number 21, Derek Cuevas.
Kiki Gregoire will enter for Carlos Mario Diaz. Cuevas in as well for Jathan Juarez, Derek Cuevas. So those are 5 subs used now for Carolina Core. Cuevas, 20-year-old, spent time with FC Barcelona U20s. 4-3 in the box here. Suba looking for space to Gregoire. Good speed to get it right back. Gregoire turning. Right into the chest of Burner. Good action right off the bench, though, for Kiki Gregoire, 18-year-old. Spent last year at the Barcelona Academy in Arizona. 5 subs in now at the moment for Carolina Core. This broadcast presented by Gallagher. Cuevas mentioned played with FC Barcelona U20s. He has international experience as well with the Dominican U20 and U23 national teams. Marmas. Nice takeaway defensively. Evans again on the ball. Cuevas. Evans does well to chip it across, but nobody along that far post for Carolina. Throw in here for Atlanta. And every reason for Atlanta supporters to feel like, hey, this is kind of the way last week's match should have gone with the style and substance of play that Atlanta put together in the opening match against Orlando. Definitely being rewarded for it here today, and that's exactly what Steve Cook wanted to see. Said, just want to come out with the same sort of mindset, just better execution in the final third. If we play with the same spirit, be happy to see what could take place. Evans, line drive, whips right into the hands of Burner. Just have to stay active here in the second half, despite what this score line is. Not as many consistent first-team players in the lineup for Steve Cook today. Derek Etienne and Nick Firmino were named starters in the first match of the season. Of course, Etienne has had a long MLS career, whistle in midfield. That always is a challenge for a head coach, more so for the coaches of clubs like Atlanta rather than Carolina, with having to deal with the first-team players coming down and the academy players coming up, both of those things at the same time as trying to put puzzle pieces together at the start of the season anyway, with your large number of additions and departures each and every year. Steve Cook said, look, you have to get every person in the whole group connected to what you're trying to do. It's going to be difficult. These academy players, they have to be ready. They've got to be good enough when they come up. You've got to have balance in the squad too. Sometimes there are 4, 5, 6 first-team kids in the group. Sometimes there are 0. And the core guys, though, they have to be ready to cope with that. Oh, no, that's a bad giveaway. It's Suba not going to be able to track it down before it rolls out. Oh, goodness, even right there when it looked like it was set on a platter. Just a little bit too much pace on the deflection. And there will be no tap in there for Suba. Burner fortunate in that moment. It's a good non-whistle there, both players. Momentum carrying them a little forward to the pitch. Jacob Williams, he's fouled. Jacob Williams entered the game just a few minutes ago. 2 Tar Heels on this Atlanta roster. Here's Gashardo. He's been with River Plate's reserve squad the last couple of seasons. Gashardo. Off Evans. There's a foul on Atlanta. Thomas went to the ground. Reminder, this broadcast presented by Adidas. Atlanta supporters in good spirits here. All 3 goals coming in a 10-minute span in the first half. Foul on Williams. Deal. Trying to win back possession by Orihuela. A little too high on the bounce for Cuevas to handle and bring it down. Kobe. Brennan's still in the match here. Paid a lot of attention to, dispossessed. Suba goes right around his defender. Left it behind his teammate. See the skill there from Yekasin Suba. Rodriguez needed a better ball once that got in the box. Something holding up play here, the other half of the field. About 15 minutes or so left here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. A match in which Carolina Core has had its moments. It's nice build-ups, but ultimately the finishing has just not been at the level we've seen from Atlanta United here today. A pair of goals from Luke Brennan, one from Javier Armas. And Carolina was shell-shocked in that first half. That's all that's been necessary, the rest of the way since, though Carolina has continued to try to press forward. Third substitution for Atlanta here. Stephen Herlock will enter the game.
Here in the 77th minute, entered the match, number 57, Stephen Herlock.
Herlock will come in for
number 25, Luke
one of the 2 goal scorers today, Luke Brennan. Herlock's first MLS Next Pro action. Players on the bench right now for Atlanta United who have not played an MLS Next Pro game in their career as of yet. Maine Smith also one of those. Pavel Romero, 18-year-old. Sean Lanza hoping for an opportunity today. He was in the MLS Next All-Star game last year alongside Rocket Rita. 15 appearances for Atlanta United 2 in the 2023 season. '17-year-old academy product Matthew DeJaney got the start in the striker spot today for Atlanta. One chance in transition, wasn't able to complete. Some valuable minutes for DeJaney this afternoon. Good pass along the far side. Numbers here for Atlanta, looking to make it a 4th, brought down. The follow is in. It's 4-0. Kareem Tamimi off the bench with the goal. It's all Atlanta United this afternoon.
Atlanta United goal by number 99, Kareem Tamimi.
Once you saw that pass on the far side that got through, you thought something might be on once again here for Atlanta. I mean, there may have been even a case for a card or a penalty when got brought down in the box right here. No, that was just a slide down to the turf, but Tamimi was in the right place, right time. Good run by Herlock, who helped set all of that up. Have a day, Atlanta United. Substitutes off the bench immediately making their presence felt. Herlock's first MLS Next Pro action sees some good things happen very quickly for him.
Atlanta United 2.
6 goals last year for Tamimi.
79th minute. The assist on the goal was by number 57, Stephen Herlock. United lead the match 4-0.
Fresh into the game and an assist to his name for Herlock. Armas and Morales, the goals last week for Atlanta. Tamimi, Brennan, and Armas, the goals today. Could Atlanta possibly get another one here? Not that time. Jacob Williams had intentions of making this an even more lopsided scoreline. Whistle and a foul on Cuevas. You'll often hear the storyline declared that a scoreline is not representative of how tightly contested a game was. And there's some departments here today where Carolina certainly looks more than competent. A 17-13 advantage in shots taken. And expected goals today, Atlanta's at 1.59, Carolina at 1.02. But to be quite honest, how clinical a team finishes, how many truly good chances they develop, the quality in front of goal, that is all part of it. And Atlanta has just been exponentially better today in front of goal, as Covey commits the foul. At the same time, though, results, though discouraging in the nature of the scoreline, the pattern of play for Carolina had things to be encouraged about moving forward. Covey's slide tackle from behind there, leading to a free kick. A good example today of how thin the margins really are, and what can be the type of match in which you're still in it in the 91st minute in a 1-0 game and able to tie it up and send it to a shootout as they did last week. And another match on the road just a week later in which you're on the wrong side of a 4-0 score line. Now, this is a tough one to take for Carolina core, but you get the feeling good things will be ahead for this club. The Foxes with plenty of talent. Supporters group, which you saw what they're made of last week. Really can't ask for a better start for a club as well. Between that comeback shootout win at Crown Legacy and then the U.S. Open theater as well. Not a match today that Carolina Skulk will want to relive too often, but it'll be onward very quickly here. Again, 8 matches on the road for Carolina core to start this season before they get their first home match on May 21st against Nova FC. And they'll have 3 of their next three in the span of 4 games at home, late May, early June. So Kello's day is done.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Atlanta United. Here in the 85th minute, entering the match, number 77, Pavel.
First MLS Next Pro action for Pavel Romero. Miles Hadley, defensive substitute. Just about 5 minutes remaining here.
Again, also, ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Atlanta United in the 85th minute. Entering the match is number 64, Miles Hadley. Exiting the match is number 47, Matthew Edwards.
Matt Edwards, the UNC products. His day is complete as well. Nice day for Akello too. Did a lot of good things, advancing possession in the midfield, playing physical defensively. He was a big part of what Steve Cook wanted in this match. That's what he felt they had to counter for Carolina, how physical they were, getting second balls. That challenge has been answered here today. Rodriguez, tough angle, that'll go out of play. Look at the academy guys in the game right now, or who have played for Atlanta. Matthew DeJaney. Okay. Stephen Herlock, Alvaro Romero, Luke Brennan. Efrain Morales, Miles Hadley, Matt Edwards. Talk about the pathway, success it's led to for Atlanta United. Who might be next? Since 2016, 13 players have signed homegrown contracts with Atlanta. Noah Cobb, Johnny Fortune, Aiden Torres, Caleb Wiley, Tyler Wolf comes to mind. Nick Firmino, the most recent after his record-breaking 2023. Academy's doing good things here in Atlanta. Speaking of the pro team, tough 2-0 loss yesterday on a bitterly cold night in Toronto. The temperature at kickoff was below freezing. Winds were blowing about 15 miles per hour. Ice on the field, ice on the ball. Reminded some Atlanta fans of the Minnesota match back in 2017. It was a short-handed Atlanta group, missing 5 starters with this international window. And of course, MLS playing through that. So, if they miss a game, they probably don't mind missing one of that nature. This one out of play. Of course, Atlanta, a playoff team last season, fell in the first round to the eventual champions, Columbus Crew. Columbus is MLS Next Pro team, winning the league in its first season. Of course, Austin, the champions last year. Kind of noise can Atlanta United to make this year after going 11-17-2 in 2023. They were 10th in the East. Missed the playoff mark. Plenty of nice development. Steve Cook will tell you, we want to develop. That certainly is the priority, but there needs to be a standard for winning too. There has to be a consequence. And a priority placed on that as well. We're gonna have 3 minutes of stoppage time here at Fifth Third Bank. Carolina's best chance today was off the boot of Yekison Suba after a giveaway in the back half from Gallardo. Point blank, couldn't finish it. Would have made it 3-1.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes. 3 minutes of added time here in the second half.
Blows, flag is up. I don't want to go and proclaim that someone's going to have the kind of season, the scale of what Nick Firmino did last year. So there is talent in the attacking third on this Atlanta roster. Brennan had himself a day. Kareem Tamimi came in and scored immediately. Alan Carlton nearly had a pair of goals. It's fun to see who may step up on different days. Who may be the go-to goal scorer over the course of this season for Atlanta United. Who might earn some first-team short-term loan opportunities. Find themselves playing at Mercedes-Benz a little more often, in addition to their time here at First Third Bank Stadium. Carolina has a free kick. Dispossessed. Canetti couldn't keep it. He safely plays it back. Carolina core back in action as Suba can't get one there. Carolina core will be back in action on March 31st. Some days from now on a 3 p.m. game at Revs 2. Make their way to Gillette Stadium. Counted down to May 21st. Get to take on Nova FC. You know what? Taking a second look at this here. I think that's just listed incorrectly. They just played Nova FC in the U.S. Open Cup. So June 1st, actually, that first home match. Well, that didn't make sense for a moment. I think it was supposed to be listed as March 21st and was listed as May. So June is approaching. Supporters can't wait to get to Truist, but today a difficult one here in Kennesaw. Atlanta United 4-0. What a win here at home. 3 goals in the span of about 10 minutes in the first half. They added a 4th here late in the second. A clinical performance from Steve Cook's club. 4-0 to Atlanta United. This is the kind of scoreline they felt might have been deserved last week against Orlando City B, with 4 times as many shots as their opponent. Not always how it works in this wonderful sport, but today they were rewarded for their buildups and their finishing. 4 goals. Our man of the match, Luke Brennan, who had the first 2. A brace for Brennan. Man of the match brought to you by Adidas. And Luke Brennan, who is one of these up-and-coming young standouts for Atlanta United. Found himself in the right spot for his first goal. Able to direct it to the left side. Alex Sutton had made a nice number of saves in the early going, but really no chance to get to that one. And then in the 26th minute, Brennan punched this one in, no problem. That set the tone, and Atlanta United was off and running. Armas would add a goal after that. So Armas, who had a pair of goals last week, has a goal and assist today. Brennan with 2 goals. Kareem Tamimi comes off the bench in the second half to add a 4th and final goal for Atlanta United too. Well, 2 goals in the opener, 4 goals in their second match of the season. Carolina core, after the delightful start to the season with a 2-point shootout win at Crown Legacy and a U.S. Open Cup win, they fall today at Atlanta United 2. Thanks for joining us on MLS Season Pass. Atlanta the victory today. Final score, 4-0 from Atlanta. I'm AJ Ricketts. We bid you good day, Kennesaw.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.